All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing HMSSurprise by Patrick O'Brian. This is book number 3 in Patrick O'Brian's 20-book series about Captain Aubrey and his buddy Maturin and their adventures. This is the Aubrey and Maturin adventure series. And as you can see, I've got all the books right here. Now, let's talk about the cover first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. This has a great cover painting by an artist named Joff Hunt, who did all the covers, and they all look really cool. I mean, well, I don't know if he did all the covers. Yeah, he did. Like, they all look really cool. They've all got kind of a maritime nautical ship sailing type of a theme to them. Just really all of them really super dope covers. In fact, there's some of my favorite. This one's really dynamite. I love that cover. That is a great cover. Anyway, and as you can see, I stack all the books here together. They all look really good on the shelf. They look like they belong in the series. So anyway, I've previously reviewed the first 2 books in the series, which were Master and Commander and Post Captain. So if you want to see those reviews, just type in my last name and Post Captain or Master and Commander. Type that into your YouTube search bar. The review will magically show upon your screen. So anyway, this book came out in 1973. We talked about the cover. Inside, there is a diagram of the ship, because this is about sailing on a ship. This is all of this seafaring adventure books, folks. So we got the diagram of the ship and what everything is on it, which is cool. So this is about, I describe this, and I know this is a poor description, but I stand by it. This is kind of like Jane Austen on the sea. Jane Austen as if she were writing sea adventures. Every one of these books is kind of a slow build. This kind of starts out in British society with Aubrey and Maturin. I mean, Aubrey plays the violin, Maturin plays the cello. They kind of walk about in English society before the adventure starts. Maturin, he's kind of like the scientist type of guy. He collects flora and fauna. His humor is great. That's one of the things, is kind of like Maturin and Aubrey kind of remind me of the Gus McCrae, Woodrow Call dynamic in Lonesome Dove, where Captain Aubrey is a little bit more of the stoic guy, and Maturin is a little bit more of the humorous, not take things so serious guy. So, we start out with this British society is getting fleshed out in each book. Parliamentary disputes, naval strategy, politics. Aubrey, at the beginning of this book, he kind of loses all the money that he gained from the previous 2 adventures. And but he wants to marry Sophia, so he's got to come up with some cash, And so there's this quest that they can go on to the Indian Ocean to use their ship to protect the East India Company trade ships from pirates and whatnot. And so now we go from the British society out to the high seas, to the Indian subcontinent, East India Company. Now, there are other ships out there sent by Napoleon to attack the Chinese fleet. There's a lot of stuff going on out there on the high seas. That's kind of the adventure that we're on here. It's pretty simple. It's not like I say, I just read and reviewed Con Iggulden's War of the Roses, the first book, which was action-packed. Now, there is action in these stories, but it takes a bit of time to get through. At least in the first 3 books that I've read, it's about halfway through where things start to, where your blood starts to get pumping. Things are happening. Pirate ships are doing pirate ship stuff. These ships are doing these ship stuff. The Napoleon fleet's doing the Napoleon fleet stuff. And the adventure doesn't get really rolling until about halfway through. But I kind of enjoy the first half for what it is. And that's kind of why I call it like Jane Austen, as if she had written adventure novels. Because the first half of the book and the first half of the other two books read kind of like a Jane Austen British society novel. And then all of the next thing you know, they're off on an adventure, which is cool. I like it. It's cool. It's a unique setup. These books, you know, third in the series of Aubrey and Maturin adventures. This book is set among the strange sights and smells of India and the distant waters plowed by the ships of the East India Company. Aubrey is on the defensive, pitting wits and seamanship against an enemy enjoying overwhelming local superiority. But somewhere in the Indian Ocean lies the prize that could make him rich beyond his wildest dream. Oh, and a lot of these books are like treasure hunts, too. Anyway, I won't tell you what that prize is. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but I won't tell you what part I mentioned earlier is the prize. But anyway, I give this a solid 7.5 out of 10, and we will be reading and reviewing all of them for the channel eventually. And there you go.